Hi, I'm Kevin Hill, and today I'm going to show you how to create a beautiful little snowman that you can put in just about any winter painting. There's just a few steps and it comes out looking really good. All right, let's get started. So my background is dry. I'm painting on a large canvas. I'm just going to do a small area because you don't want a snowman that takes up the entire canvas. Realistically, it's only going to be like 3 inches tall. And this background is dry. This is acrylics just to make it easy, right? But you can do this over wet oils. You would just need to leave your areas blank. You wouldn't want to paint your background over your snowman, okay? So that just helps you get an idea. Now I'm going to be painting oils over my dry acrylic. Not something we've ever done before, but it is something that you can do. I just don't do it normally. This is just practice. It doesn't make any difference. Okay, here we go. I've got my round brush and I'm going to grab some white. And the first step is that we simply need to block out our snowman and underpaint it, really. So let's just get our little circles going. You want these oblong circle-y things, ovals. Ovals. Oblong circles. Okay, we're off to a good start. There, that's one. The next one, just right under it. They don't have to be perfect. That looks decent. And then another small one. Like that. You want to limit the amount of paint. You don't want too much paint on here. Of course, you can always make them bigger. Okay, so that's that. And like I said, if you were painting in oils, this was all an oil background, I would have done this in the beginning of the painting, and I would have left my snowman blank. It would just be white canvas underneath, okay? All right, now let's go ahead and block in our colors. So I've got some yellow and white, just pure yellow and white right here on the right-hand side. What I do is I simply lay down kind of like this half circle. That's it. You can make your half circle just about that big. Don't go quite to the center. And then repeat on this one. Just a little half circle. And then up here, a little half circle. Okay? And leave it. Now we're going to jump to the next color, which is pink. Now, by the way, this is a sunset. If you were going to do this in the daytime, it's actually easier. Just white and blue, blend them together, right? But here we've got extra colors, extra pretty things going on. So let's grab some red, white, touch of our yellow ochre to it. Not much yellow ochre. Okay, brighten that up somewhat. Right in there. All right, let's put that in the middle. And I like to just give it a little pull to one side. Done, okay? And then the last step, or the last of the first step, right? We're just blocking it in, is blue, white, just a speck of red. We can use this leftover. Blue, white, red, kind of make a bluish color that's not too shiny. Good, maybe it's a little much. I'm gonna lighten that up some, good. And place that on the left-hand side, and then you stop. That's the end of step one. Now I've changed to a clean filbert brush. You could use your detail round, or you could use the edge of a 3/4, but filbert's easy. I like this brush. This background's dry. I'm just going to set my hand down. All right, here we go. So now what you're going to do is you're going to blend. You're going to blend the light here into the shadow, into the midtone, and then the midtone into the shadow, in that order. Very important that you go in that order. Okay, just touch it and give it a pull. And then touch it like this and give it a pull. Good. This is a stiff bristle brush, so it's hard to say. So this will get this area done very quickly. Okay, now I'm going to set that brush down. Once we kind of have that mushed together, I'm going to grab my blender brush and I'm going to soften it even further. But this is more just, not so much blending as it is just trying to get the brush lines out, make it very smooth. It looks just like snow. There, see, I'm just stroking it. You can do little circles. Kind of go with the shape of your snowman. Good, and then transition, hope you can see this okay. Transition right into your blue. Blue and red make purple. Let that purple happen. Good, so that blends our snowman in such a way that we can be really happy with it. It looks smooth. About as smooth as you can imagine, right? That looks so pretty. Don't be afraid to throw an edge out of focus too, especially here at the bottom. Maybe just throw it right out of focus. Now that we have everything pretty much established, it's time to detail it out. Let's start with some accent highlights. So I'm back to my detail round brush and just a little bit of white and yellow, this time more white, more paint. And right on the edge here, I want to create what's called an accent highlight. Be gentle with this, just a little. There, just a little. Doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Just layer that right on. But you can probably imagine why it's so important to have this area cleaned out if you're working with oils all in one day. Now again, just to recap, in case, because this is so different for me, is I am working on a dry acrylic background using oil paint. I'm going over my dry acrylic background just for the sake of the lesson. Makes it a little easier to teach. But you can do this in acrylics completely, you could do it in oils completely, and that's the way normally I would do it when I would do it in a painting. So that is our accent highlight. You see how that just rounds them off even more? Very important. You kind of hold your breath when you do some of this stuff, it's so small. All right, now let's take some blue and some red. I'm going to create a darker purple right there. Yeah, I like that. I'm going to wipe most of it out of the brush, and I'm going to place in, oops, that's how I said I'm going to wipe most of it out. I left too much in, imagine that. I'm going to place in a little shadow just right here, where you can imagine it would look right. Kind of where these two halves come together. They're not halves, are they? Where the two sections meet up. And then the same on this one here. But it just takes more than one or two strokes to make a nice looking snowman, which is kind of what we're starting to get. Same color, same purple. And I'm going to stroke this now in, oh yes, in the snow. Just look at that. Is that not great? It's a little bit of a shadow of our snowman. All right. That's easy. Wet or dry, that's just no big deal. All right, and then I'm going to wipe my brush out entirely, and we're going to detail the snow in front. Yellow and white, a little red maybe. There, and just put a little highlight on the snow in front. Pretty simple. You can do this probably better off with a filbert brush for all of this. There. I would definitely recommend piling up that snow at the base of this snowman so that it looks seated in the painting. Otherwise it'll be floating and that won't be good. You won't be happy with that. Nice. Okay, so you see how that's so important. Back to my filbert just to give it a quick blend. The filbert actually blends very quickly because it's so stiff. So it's definitely a good one to choose for this. All right, so that's the way I would seat that down into a painting. And of course, this would be a perfect background color for highlights to go over. Now that we got that done, let's go ahead and work on our really pretty details, such as a little bit of brown and black, such as the little eyes and stuff. So you bring your brush to a nice sharp point. See that sharp point? All right, here we go. I like to make my snowmen, not that I do these a whole lot, but I've done a few now. I like to make them not looking straight at you. There. They're just simple little dots. If you don't like this, you can always blend it in. It's important to make them look happy and pleasant, not scary. Okay. That looks pretty decent. Go ahead and take your umber like this, a little yellow ochre on the other side, and white, and then umber. So you have dark and light. And what you can do is you can paint in your arms, both the shadow and the highlight in one go, which is so much easier than trying to get a little highlight on these ridiculously thin arms. we go, those little branches. That looks good. See how that looks like a branch? I think that makes that look a little more interesting. Very nice. I like that. Okay, let's do some little buttons or something. I don't know. It's totally up to you how much detail you want to put in your snowman. Definitely go with the rounded look of the snowman. See that? That's important. Wipe your brush. And then I think I would recommend just going over these one more time with a rounded stroke to help them feel buried into the painting. See that? They don't look like they were just stuck on there and left. I don't know. I think that gives it a better look. I'm going to take a little bit of my purple now, and I'm going to just place a little shadow here right underneath these little objects. Same with the eyes. Very subtle. Feel free not to do this. There we go. All right, now let's do the nose. We're gonna do some yellow ochre, red, get a nice orange color going. Very carrot-like color, because what else could the nose be? You know, we gotta do it. It's gotta be a carrot. Okay. And then on the other side, I'm gonna take just some white, load that up pretty good. Dark orange and light orange. Okay. And I'm gonna get, hopefully you can see this. I hope I don't block the camera. There we go. A nice carrot. Ooh, we're talking about small detail there, aren't we? I like that. Very small detail. If it needs to be cleaned up, we can do that. Let me show you how. Take a little white right on the tip of the brush. You can clean it up. Ooh, nice. And then lastly, grab a little purple and just a little shadow. Nice. The other thing we can do is a little shadow from the arm. Subtle, but there you go. Adds a little realism, doesn't it? To have some shadows across them. Good. And then just real quick, paint in our little dots again. All right, the other thing we got to do is a scarf. So I'll just grab a nice red and we'll do that real quick. I'm going to go with probably just red. I won't highlight it at the same time. And I'll just wrap a little scarf around them. Okay, roll your brush to a point, and then you could drag out the little scarf ends like that. And then just a little highlight separately, just a little white, make kind of a pink. Just enough to show that there is something different going on. And that is the detail step. Well, I hope this quick lesson has really helped you. Maybe you can stick a snowman in your next winter scene. Don't forget to check out our website, DVDs, and brush line. Thanks for watching.